What have you got to say? My heart is on display, but I'm not afraid. Yeah, I'm not afraid. Why you been getting busy? I've been getting dizzy, trying not to keep you in mind. Now all the dirty vibes and suddenly enticing since you came back in my life. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. Do what you gotta do, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. You left without a line. Was it by design? If what you want is time, don't go wasting mine. Don't be wasting mine. When it's starting to get old, I'm not trying to be cold. I just think it's time that you see. Now I can't wait forever. Guess it's now or never. But for you to get with me. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. Do what you gotta do, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you.
Who has no house now, he will never build. Whoever is alone now, long will so remain. Will stay awake and read and write long letters, and wander the alleys up and down restless as the leaves are drifting.
Alright, it's Mark, and we're going to get started here for a live show. Tonight's sponsor is Stop Motion Pro Eclipse, and if you guys haven't seen what that is, it's a capture program for stop motion. You can use a web camera or a DSLR. It's actually really, it's a great program on par with Dragon Frame, but a little bit less expensive. There's different versions, so I highly recommend it. I actually had input into this program as a beta tester to the team that made it, so it works great. So anyways, check it out at stopmotionpro.com and or stopmotionstore.com as well. And let me get rid of this. And let's see here, where is it? Your screen. And okay, so tonight's show. Make sure I get everything squared away here. All right, so the burger topic is due for review tonight, and so if you guys haven't seen this, basically every 5 weeks we have a challenge, a stop motion challenge, and so this time it was the burger was a topic, and so there were 2 entries. We had Tamarami as well as Greg R. And let me refresh the page just in case. I know Greg just posted his 19 minutes ago, it says. So sometimes people post at the last moment. So only 2 entries this time, but that's okay. It's still fun to watch these. And so the first one was by Tamarami. Now, the way this works is we're going to watch this once. And I have a pen to keep tally of votes later on. We're going to watch it, and then we're going to watch it again, and then after the second time, we're going to vote on who we like most. So keep in mind, like if you're going to vote, make sure that you keep in mind, the character, like the design of the characters, sculpting ability, the sets, the lighting, the story, the voices. Basically, we're not looking for one specific thing, but if one of these, if you like it better than the other, just I'll keep tallying. Let me see here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So I can see your chat here on the screen, and I'll keep tallying. So anyways, let's get started. So first is Tamarami. This one is called "Why Did You Steal My Burger?" So she also says here in the description, "What happens when a macaw wants your food?" So let's see what this is all about.
Cat, dog, somewhat of a dialogue, growing faster, what a disaster. Start your Monday with Tamarame. We went to a place. Of course, we needed to eat.
It was busy, but we finally got our food.
Let's sit here.
I don't like this burger.
A macaw took place at the table. Hey bird, what ya doing? He whooshed forward and snatched the burger. But he stole your burger. Do you like burgers? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, we have plenty more for you to watch. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you the next time.
Alright, so pretty straightforward animation and little story there. Really good. And then next up we have from Greg R, who's here in the audience watching. His is called Hammy the WBC, and there's no description. Also no description really. It just says, here's my entry on our forums. And let me just refresh the page one last time. There's always somebody. No, okay, there's nobody. Alright, so let's watch this one and see what it's about here.
Hey guys, it's your boy Hammy. What's up, YouTube? Here's my James Dean impression. Your tit. Your tit. No.
You're tearing me apart!
Oh. Hi, Larry. Who's a good fry? You're a good fry, aren't you? Aren't you a good fry? How about a joke? Where do hamburgers like to dance? At a meatball. Ah! Get it? Meat ball? I'm on a roll today. Get it? I'm on a roll.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? I make you laugh? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Let's play some basketball!
No. No! What are you doing? Stop it! Put me down! You won't like how I taste. I was a frozen patty! I was a frozen patty!
Charlie, that really hurts. Charlie bit me.
So that's some really good use of some voice acting as well as some clips. Very nice. So we are going to watch these, like I said, one more time. So this is Tamaramis, and after we watch this, just say if you like this particular one or if you like Hammy better, and we will keep tallying and see how things go. So let's play it one more time. Here we go.
Get, talk, somewhat of a dialogue, growing faster, what a disaster. Start your Monday with Tamarame. We went to a place. Of course, we needed to eat.
It was busy, but we finally got our food.
Let's sit here.
I don't like this burger.
A macaw took place at the table. Hey bird, what ya doing? He whooshed forward and snatched the burger. But he stole your burger. Do you like burgers? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, we have plenty more for you to watch. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you the next time.
Okay, so it's a really cool video. I don't know if you guys have ever seen on YouTube. There's this one video of a guy who has like an ice cream cone, and he's at the ocean, and a seagull comes by and like tastes the entire thing, you know. So it's kind of funny. I don't know if this is actually a true story, but it wouldn't surprise me. And so now we're gonna watch Hammy the WBC one more time, and we're going to say who you like most, and we're gonna keep tally. So let's watch it one more time here. It's working good.
Hey guys, it's your boy Hammy. What's up, YouTube? Here's my James Dean impression. You're No.
You're tearing me apart!
Oh. Hi, Larry. Who's a good fry? You're a good fry, aren't you? Aren't you a good fry? How about a joke? Where do hamburgers like to dance? At a meatball. Ah! Get it? Meat ball? I'm on a roll today. Get it? I'm on a roll.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? I make you laugh? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Let's play some basketball!
No. What are you doing? Stop it. Put me down. You won't like how I taste. I was a frozen patty. I was a frozen patty.
Charlie, that really hurts. Charlie bit me.
So that was Greg's, and so what do you guys think? Are you guys thinking those are pretty good? I think they are. So let's see here. So hey, Randy. You know what? My apologies for that. You're right. Should we watch those one more time in the framed version, which we could do? Hey, Kodabop. Yeah, all right. Let's play it again. I didn't realize that. You know, I'm used to having two screens. I don't have two screens on my computer anymore. And so that's not nice, is it? Let's see if that's yep. That's not going to be covered this time. All right, let's watch it one more time and we'll vote. Let's go.
Get, talk, somewhat of a dialogue, growing faster, what a disaster. Start your Monday with Tamara May. We went to a place. Of course, we needed to eat.
It was busy, but we finally got our food.
Let's sit here.
I don't like this burger.
A macaw took place at the table. Hey bird, what ya doing? He whooshed forward and snatched the burger. But he stole your burger. Do you like burgers? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, we have plenty more for you to watch. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you the next time.
How was that? Did you guys see everything? Hey, Weebeast. So Weebeast, is that a vote for Hammy? And Jack says, yo, Mark from UK. Hey, what's going on, Jack? I know I've seen you here before, so welcome back. So I think Weebeast is voting for Greg's. And yeah, so what do you guys think? How many we have? Let's see. I think yeah, YouTube is not showing me how many people are actually here. This part is broken. Normally on the screen it will tell me how many people are actually watching. So I don't really know. But so Jack says, okay, I vote first. Do you mean for Tamarami? I think that was the first one I showed. And then Greg would have been the second. So if you can make it clear. So the first one was Tamarami, which is why did you steal my burger? And second is the Hammy version. So we got 10 people. All right, that's cool. So yeah, you guys out there, you know, if you want to use the chat, just feel free to chime in. And I'd hate to have to break a tie or anything, but which is possible. But the more people that vote, the better. So Randy says, saw it all this time. I like T's sculpting and use of characters, but had to go with Hammy for all the lip sync. All right. So Randy is voting for Hammy. And okay, and so Hoser Lou Studio says, I'll go with Hammy, but enjoyed both. And Kodabop says, why did you steal my burger? Okay, so that's Tamarami's film. Jack says, I enjoy the hamburger lip sync, but I like the sorcery with the parrot. Sorry if I wasn't clear. Oh, story. You weren't clear, but I understand you. Don't worry. And a whiskey says, I will go with Hammy tonight also. Okay. Yeah, you know, I think both were really good. I mean, it's hard for me to, I don't want to like actually say who I like most until everybody's done, but no, whiskey said, so I will go with Hammy tonight also. Let's make sure I didn't miss any up here first. Oh, whiskey says it was sunny and warm up there in Canada. That's interesting. Yeah, we're having practically a blizzard on the east coast of the U.S., which is kind of strange. Yeah, the weather is really unusual. I mean, it is technically spring, springtime now. My son was on spring break, and the weather was pretty nice. But then yesterday, like maybe late afternoon, it started to get kind of cold, and we didn't get any snow or anything like that. But I'm in the Midwest, so I'm pretty far from all that mess out on the East Coast. So Jack Nash says story. Haha, my bad. I prefer the parrot one. Yep, I understood. Don't worry. All right. Well, we've got Greg R has 4 votes and Tamara Me has 2. So if there's anybody else who wants to chime in at the last moment, feel free. There's about 4 more people out there who haven't voted. But yeah, I'm glad to be out of the snow. I'm not really wanting to have to shovel the driveway and clean off the cars and all that. That's not very much fun. Alright, well, I don't think anybody else is going to vote. I am going to announce Greg R. as the winner for tonight. Thanks very much, both of you guys who posted your videos. I think that the characters are awesome. I think that I don't know, Greg, exactly. It looks like maybe you put clay or something on an actual bun here or something, and possibly the hamburger. I'm not sure, or maybe you painted it, or I don't know. But it was really funny. And Tamara Me, of course, the characters are always consistent. I really like the consistency of Tamara Me's puppets and the style, and I mean there's just so much to really admire about these videos of hers. But anyway, we did have to choose, and of course Greg was the winner. So as always, what I will do is I will go on the forums later, and of course I'll just re-announce that Greg had won. And Greg, I will also contact you in the messages area of the site, and if we can just talk about what you might think for another topic. And there's also, of course, the prize. Make sure that you don't forget that. A downloadable tutorial from our store, stopmotionstore.com. So yeah, thanks very much, guys, for joining in and taking part in our 5-week challenges. So there's 12. You know what? Maybe I should have waited till later to have the vote. But too late, guys. Too late. You got to be here on time if you want to vote. So Greg says it's all clay. No food was harmed in this video. Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. So let me get rid of where is it? The computer screen, and put on the web camera. And let's move this over. Yeah, my computer is kind of cluttered. I realize that it's not exactly the most professional setup here. I'm kind of waiting for some drivers for my video card, because I have an issue with my video card. I don't know if I told you guys, but I have the Oculus Rift, which is an awesome virtual reality device. And so one day it just decided to stop working, and my screen went black, and I had to buy a little adapter. Went through tech support, all kinds of stuff, and it seems to be a common problem with the Rift. But what I want to do is I want to stick my second monitor up to my computer, so that when I do these live shows and I have the 5-week challenges, I don't have to jump back and forth between my other screen and put everything on one screen, like tonight, where you can see the chat was covering things and whatnot. It's really hard to manage all that stuff when you have different boxes on top of each other and windows and stuff. So anyway, hopefully you can figure that out one of these days. But they've actually released a driver update for my video card. And so I thought, maybe I should download it. But I hesitated because I wanted to know if it worked first. And a bunch of other people had downloaded the software and for the from NVIDIA, the driver update. and they said that it didn't do anything. It didn't work, and people still had black screens. So the fix didn't work, and so I'm gonna, wait it out. Maybe by next week they'll have another fix or something. Well, thanks, Jack. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get started now. So last time we were here at this table, we recreated these 3 faces. And these are replacement faces for our secondary character. He's not a, like I said, a primary character where we're going to worry about, making too many versions of him for replacements, because he's not going to be seen as often as my other characters. And so, it's got some air bubbles in this casting here. I've got another casting in the freezer. I actually cast 2 of these, so I'm not sure if I'll have enough time. Let's see, what time is it? 8:22. Yeah, I might have enough time to make 2 of these tonight. But so I've got a smile version. I've got the sort of frowny face here, which I plan to alternate between these 2 faces here. And this will be where he eats the apple. He throws it in his mouth. That's why he's got a big mouth. And he kind of munches on it, so we'll kind of go back and forth. I'll replace this, kind of like a munching thing. I don't know if that's going to really look very nice, so I might create maybe another version of that, but I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to definitely make an angry version of him next. He does have a scene where he's going to be angry at one of the characters, so I need to think about how I'm going to make it look. And I could make it look like he's got his mouth open and he's clenching his teeth, kind of like this one. And he frowns and has maybe some angry eyebrow things going on here. He does have green eyebrows, which I haven't added. So that's something that I might stick some green on here to remind myself to do that for animation purposes later on. But the reason why I don't like to add eyebrows on puppets like this, because this is going to be sitting around for a long time before I animate it, and when you have like sort of like this green clay on top, or black, which I use for the other characters, what ends up happening is the 2 pieces of clay that touch each other, like if I were to take this one and just like lay it on his face, it'll just come off really easy, like that, right now. But if I waited like a month or so, the 2 clays would actually sort of bond together and stick. So if I were to take it off, it would leave like a white film on his face. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like to add eyebrows until right during animation. I don't know if that's the case with Nuplast clay in the UK. So Jack might have some experience with that if he's into clay animation. But that is one of the problems with Van Aken clay, and as well as Avalon. So the pirate video, it's just zombie pirate tales. I believe I have a playlist on my main channel, Jack, if you want to see that. And it's not very long, like when I created it, it took me how many years to make that, and it's only, a few minutes long. That's because when I started to make that film, I ended up getting married. I had a kid. I had my mother passed away. Like all kinds of stuff happened. I ended up moving twice or 3 times. So my life was pretty crazy. Once I started that film, everything kind of went downhill. Not really downhill. I had a lot of life experiences that happened. Things I had to take care of, I guess. So that happens, like if you start to get into clay animation or stop motion and you get really heavily into it and then you get married and have a kid, you would kind of understand. Life becomes very complicated when that happens. So I know it's one of those things that I always think, I could have finished that maybe in like a few months if I had just sat down and did it every day or every week or weekend or something. Like if I had scheduled it out Perhaps I could have gotten things done quicker, but honestly speaking, I don't know if I could have. But I'm pretty proud of the way it came out. Another thing that happened when I started Zombie Pirate Tales, the film that you're referring to, is the technology really changed when I started it as well. And I originally started out editing that on Adobe Premiere and using the green screen options in there and the chroma key options and stuff. And so I had things, partially edited, and it took a long time to do that. And I just got rid of it all because Sony Vegas was so much better in terms of chroma key that what I had previously done was not as nice. And I didn't use just green screen. I ended up using like a pink screen for one of the shots. And Adobe Premiere just could not handle, the getting rid of all the pink in one of the shots. And so I thought I was going to have to like reanimate things. And yeah, it was a real transitional film, I guess you could call it. Like everything was in transition. Yeah, that was an interesting experience working on that. I mean, when I first started it out, I was actually working with a person who we worked out the story and everything, and ended up having like a falling out because it was like it was really silly. Like the other person wanted to essentially take over a lot of the roles of making the film, and it turned into like, not making a film, but how much money am I going to get, how much fame am I going to get, and things like that. Like I couldn't really care less about that stuff. And so the person I worked with for a couple of years or so on the original version of that, I ended up finding somebody to give us a lot of money to make it. And okay. So yeah, so Jack is saying, okay, cool. I've been playing around with silicone, ball and socket armature, and printed replacement mouse systems. Cool. Yeah, that's neat. Are you making your own? I know that there's, I think Wesley Wood is making some replacement stuff for sale, which is neat. Over in the UK, he's like a bigger supplier, of armature stuff. We used to sell his stuff, but things didn't work out. He stopped sending me things to sell. I don't know why. I was happy to sell his products, but so Jack says, I'm sorry to hear about your mom. I know what you're going through. I'm going through the same much. Yeah, no, that happened a few years ago. She passed away actually 2014 in November. But we still miss her, it was bad, I don't think dying is ever a good thing, But Zombie Pirate Tales, yeah, it was just so much happened during the making of that film that, and I would not make things the same way if I had to do it over again. I would not do things, in a super complex way like I did. And I would probably be a lot smarter in how I went about making the quality of the film, because I was really shooting for high quality. And I ended up trapping myself in trying to be perfect. And like trying to emulate what I was really interested in. So I was at the time, and I still am, it's really cool stuff and inspiring. Will Vinton Studios was my sort of main inspiration, and they made like Domino's Pizza Noid, California Raisins, all that kind of stuff. And that's actually, they inspired me to even make this website. My website's been around for, Animate Clay has been around for since August of 2001, I think, was when I got the animateclay.com domain name. So 17 years, But let's see here. So how does this look? Does this look alright? What do you guys think? I don't think that's angry enough looking. It looks too similar to this. So I'm going to go with a little bit more exaggerated expression here. But, I was trying to emulate the Will Vinton style for that film. And I think it succeeded. I got pretty much to the point where the characters were really on par with what they did. And the reason being is I really wanted to work for that studio, but I never could. I never got the chance to really to work for them, because what I wanted to do was the clay stuff like this. And they were transitioning, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I know you're saying you work with silicone and replacements and all that, and that's awesome. I love that stuff too. But at the time, they didn't have replacements. They didn't have 3D printing and all that. Only until, the modern cheap consumer printers came out, you couldn't even do that yourself. That was like something that Henry Selick was doing for Coraline and everything like that. On 3D printers that were, I think they were somewhere around like 130 to 50,000 US dollars to get a 3D printer. Just an insane price. But clay was what I was, mainly good at using, and I loved the style of Vinton's and everything. So I went to the studio there in Portland and saw them, and I got to meet like John Ashley and Webster Colcord and Mike McKinney and Chuck Duke. Chuck Duke was someone that worked on the Force Awakens. They redid the chess scene for the Star Wars Millennium Falcon and all that. So, I got to meet people that they were not very well known, and they were just starting out in stop motion, and they went to Vinton Studios, and they, just made all this really cool stuff. And when I went there, I was sort of on the tail end of when they were doing the claymation style, which is to do everything in clay. And so once I got really good at it, everybody was closing up shop. Leica ended up taking over financially and publicly, and their stocks, and it got all political and everything. So clay animation wasn't something that there was an outlet for. There were no companies really using clay. It was going towards like foam latex, and also the replacement faces, like Henry Selick made Nightmare Before Christmas, and used replacements, and a lot of studios were emulating that, and emulating trying to think what else, like Bump in the Night was really big then. Dave Blyman from Danger Productions, they went with like sticker mouths, sticking them on. And then Robot Chicken, of course, they were using stickers for replacement mouths as well. Like everybody was kind of, I don't want to call it making it cheap, but they were for reasons of trying to be economical. They were going and using less time consuming methods and less good looking methods for making their puppets. And I just didn't like that. I liked the more complicated look. Let's see here. I don't know if I'm liking this. I think I'm focusing too much on talking instead of sculpting. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna alter this. I'm gonna make this a little bit more extreme. But yeah, I always liked the clay animation style, and that's, what I wanted to do, and I never had a chance to. So Zombie Pirate Tales was sort of my outlet for that. And trying to do it on your own is, it's fun, and you get to do it. But the time it takes in order to accomplish one very short film and a very complicated style without any funding to speak of. I had some funding. I had some people that were fans of mine. Like they saw my blog, and I would ask for PayPal donations. And that's before Kickstarter and Indiegogo and all those kind of things. And so people, they donated money, and I'm forever grateful for those people that did. But I was trying to figure all this stuff out before. Things just on the internet have gotten so much better for filmmakers. And there's so many more outlets and so many more like possibilities for funding and marketing and places you can put your stuff to be seen and to grow an audience. YouTube didn't even exist when I first started making my film, right? And this is like, YouTube is such a game changer for animators. I really need to push these brows. Yeah. There we go. This is going to be a lot better than what I had before. I want to really push this expression and give him a really evil, angry look. I think also give him a little bit of a scrunched eye look here. Alright, so here's what we got so far, so you guys can see a little bit of a close-up. So I think the eyes are exaggerated pretty nicely. I'm going to add some more of a eye scrunch on his other eye to kind of make things somewhat symmetrical. This. So this face is definitely rough. This is not smoothed out. And I really like the rough look for clay. Like, this is why I like clay. You can kind of get this exaggeration and expression like this. And it's kind of like a spontaneous way of making faces. There's the clay has its own mind, so to speak. It has its own limitations, and that's part of sculpting. That's what makes sculpting kind of interesting, is that although you are sculpting it, it's like the physical aspects of it kind of also dictate how things turn out. And it's those little aspects that make it partly your creation, but also just part of, like I think Nick Park said once that when he's doing animation, when he's sculpting the characters' expressions and all that, that the character kind of dictates what it wants you to do. Like it's not that you're that there's some kind of like spiritual aspect to it or something, where there's something in there like living and melding itself, but you're kind of at the mercy of what the clay, how it behaves in that sort of sense. It really has its own, you don't want to call it a mind, because you sound crazy calling it a mind, but You cannot change the laws of physics, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's got its own physical properties. And that's what makes it just look cool. Like just the translucency and the way that it's shiny if you put a little bit of oil on there, and it looks like a real living face. If you do it, properly. So that's kind of like if you work digitally, like I have ZBrush, which is a really good program for digital sculpting. And there's different materials, digital materials, so you can sculpt it in one form and change the materials and the way it looks and the translucency and all that. And some people are really good at that, and you can get programs which what they do is they'll take a snapshot of your sculpture, and it will add some forehead wrinkles here. There we go. The angry face. So digital is kind of cool in what you can do, but there's this sort of tactile aspect to doing it with your own hands that you cannot compare it to anything else, including digital. Digital is kind of its own domain, so to speak. And it's not as intuitive. Digital is fun to learn and to sculpt in and everything, but from one aspect, you're using your eyes in the same way. So you're saying, well, I think this looks good, this doesn't look good, this needs to be pushed in, this needs to be pulled out, or... So in that respect, it's the same. But in the part that it's not the same is that there's no... I don't have to click anything, There's no pop-up boxes or dialog boxes and dials and all that kind of stuff. Digital dials, so in ZBrush you have all these little menus and stuff that you have to click and go back and forth and do this and do that, and use this tool for this and use that tool for that. It gets complex. And with this, it's just you have a sculpting tool, your fingers, a little bit of mineral oil, and that's it. You can kind of relax when you work on it. Whereas with ZBrush, if you can't figure something out, you gotta look up, how to solve the problem on YouTube or Google or something like that. Alright, catch you later, Jack. Thanks for stopping by. I guess he's probably already gone. I think I'm a little bit late in replying. He says it's 1:35 a.m. where he is. Wow. And so, yeah. Yeah, we are a bit crazy, Randy. Now, I've got one more face in the freezer I'm going to go get because it's been cooling off for a very long time. I'll be right back. Alright, so you guys can see what this looks like. I think last week I showed this as well. So I used a ball of my orange clay and used a heat gun. I heated the surface up and then I sort of just went into the mold and melted it inside here. So let's pop it out of here. And there you can see the rear side and the front side of our casting. So it came out pretty good. There is an air bubble here, as you can see in the jaw. So sometimes that happens. It's easy enough to fix, but let's do this. So that being the case, wonder what sort of expression I should put in this one. So we got angry, happy, we got his munching face, as I like to call it. So when he munches on his apple. So this clay is a bit frozen. I left it in the freezer for about almost an hour. It's a little piece of clay, so it only takes about maybe 5 minutes to cool. So once you leave it in for, you know, over 20 minutes or so, it starts to freeze and get hard like a rock. So Randy says, did you hear about the new restaurant on the moon? Great food, but no atmosphere. You know, that's why I eat at Mars, because there is an atmosphere there. So if you haven't been there, you need to go. One-way ticket from Elon Musk. So let's see now. So we got the angry expression. So this one here, I'm gonna just need to touch this part up here. It's gonna bug me if I don't do that. So I need to really consider what expression to put on this face. So I've got like the smiley face here, just a neutral sort of smiley look. A big grin. We've got angry. I think I'm going to make a sort of surprised expression on this one. There is one scene where all these secondary characters go into the house and see there's the little kids, and they kind of all look sort of sad and surprised. So that is my goal with this face. Starting to lose my voice, man. Maybe I'm talking too much. Ooh, this one's gonna warm this up in my hands a bit. It's almost too hard to sculpt. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So have you guys seen Early Man by any chance? So I had not seen that, but I do need to take my son to watch Early Man for sure. Let's see here. Let me take this. Scrape all this off. Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed on the Facebook page, our fan page, Henry Selick is making another film, which is cool. First one since Since Coraline, I think. I think Henry Selick has a love-hate relationship for stop motion. Oh wow! So okay, you've seen it twice. Cool. So did you like it the second time around better, or did you kind of think, or were you more critical of Early Man, Wee Beast? What's your opinion on it? I think you mentioned it maybe last week. Somebody did. They said it was was like a mediocre film, like not bad, but not really awesome at the same time. So Finn says, I've loved the show the 3 weeks I've been here, and I love that movie. Well, thanks, Finn. I appreciate it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to sculpt stuff like this. I try to encourage everybody to at least try it, to try and make a little stop motion film, or join our 5-week challenges, just to kind of get some clay or whatever and give it a shot, see what you think about it. It's nice. I mean, there's always time for being creative. You gotta, if you're a creative person, it's always good to kind of. There's my wife calling on cue. Always during my live show. If you're a creative person, it's a good outlet for doing what you want. Creating your own stories, your own characters. Let's see, so it's going to be our surprised look. This clay is finally warmed up a bit. It's not frozen anymore. Really simple. So Weeby says, I saw more information the second time around. Okay. And Randy says, it seems like most movies are better the second viewing since you know the story and can then pay attention to odd little side details. Yeah. Yep, that's true. And then Finn says, but are you going to use silicone for these characters, and when are you going to make the armatures? Okay. So nope, these aren't going to be silicone. The mold is made from silicone here. This is a silicone mold. So what this is I'll have layers of glass. So like his body here, okay? So it will be like this. And the camera will be sort of like where the web camera is. So he'll move around, like he can, move his head. He can move his head up and down. He can move his arms. And then he can, of course, change his expression, right? So it'll look like this. So when this guy's eating his apple, his mouth's going to open up really big. So I'll just swap out, the replacement faces. So that's how these characters work. These are not going to have armatures or anything like that. And the reason why that is, and the reason why I'm going this direction, is because if I use armatures and make it really complicated, it will take forever to create. And it's, I'm just doing this, 1 hour per week, for you guys to show you how it's done. And just to, of course, have something as a topic for the show, making a film. And so it's a time-saving way of making stop-motion films, is to do it this way. So you could use, you could use perhaps silicone and all that, but it would be kind of expensive. Like, you don't really need to use silicone for this. And of course, since it lays flat when the camera is in this direction and you're looking down at it, there's nothing to hold up, right? So you don't really need an armature. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can use, so I had these 3D printed armatures. These are the bendy kits. And so this is one of the kind of things that you can animate, and I could just put clay on this and get going, But the advantage to, if I were going to make a really simple film or just have two characters talking, that's how I would probably do it, because that's how I like to do it. But this has multiple characters. There's a lot of characters in this. And so building the sets and all of that would be just take so much time. And like I said, you can do it that way, and I've done it that way in the past. Like with my Zombie Pirate Tales, like I told you, it took me years to do just a really simple, short animation, really. So what I've learned is, try and find ways to it's not cutting corners, like you're not doing it in a cheap, crappy way, but you're making a film where you kind of know your own limitations, I guess, from experience. And that's what I'm doing. I know that, if I wanted to make full-on puppets, then it would take just, way too long. And this is this also stop motion, and it looks pretty good, and at least I think it looks pretty good. It's a neat style. It's not done very often, so it's unique, and it's kind of fun, and so there's kind of a balance there, you're having fun, but you're not spending your entire life doing something that will be for just a few minutes. I don't know. Now, if I had a team of people, if I had lots of people and I had a budget, I could definitely do things in a more complex way. And our hour is actually up, but I'm going to complete this last face. And then next week, what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll paint the eyes black and everything on these three heads. Because I didn't paint the eyes in last time on that one. But we'll paint the eyes in, and then we can pretty much finish this character up, because we just got to make our replacement hair piece here. Finish his clothing, and this guy is ready to be animated. And like I said, I might, before I do my animation, I might end up making a few extra spare faces, just neutral ones that I can sculpt and use on set in case, I want to have a different expression or something like that, because I don't know if this is going to be enough replacement faces for this character. But this is really like the other characters, the main characters all have a right and left sort of view and a straight on view, and that gives me tons and tons of options. But with secondary characters, like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of time. Time is a big factor in making stop motion films, and time is very valuable, Yeah, it's really time consuming. I mean, this took what? I got these 3 done in a day, in an hour, and these 2 done in an hour. Well, actually less than an hour, maybe half hour or so, since we did our 5-week challenges. And that's also part of it, because I don't want to stretch it out for years and years. So, An orange dino in the background? What do you mean by that? I mean, you can make all kinds of different characters. Dinosaurs, monsters, anything really. And you can make these really complicated too. I mean, this can be super time consuming if you do this in a way that is like if you're making the feature film using this technique, you can go crazy. I could make like 100 little faces, replacement faces, and pre-animate everything, and then it could be really beautiful too. You know, like you could like use the clay on glass painting technique for the clouds, and you know, like I think Joan Gratz is one of the few people that do that. I know Don Carlson, he posted on his Facebook wall that he had made like a clay painting of clouds. He didn't actually show like a view of the clouds at a distance, but he had a close up, and his camera's not the greatest, but you know, there's the clay painting techniques you could use, all kinds of stuff. So clay animation is really, you can do it in a simple way and a complicated way. Where's my tool at? I don't know where my tool went. Huh. Oh, here it is. It's over here. So this is my little wrinkle tool, which I use. And I'll go in here and like kind of make wrinkles for the eyes if I have to. So for the forehead, kind of go in here and just make a little crease. And then I'll take my finger and sort of smooth it out. Go back in there again. Make that crease nice. That. All right. So there it is. I think that's probably okay. So we got our angry expression and surprised expression. And what we're going to do is, like I said, next week I'm going to get in here and I'm going to paint black into the eyeballs. And I might even put some black in his mouth here. I'm not really sure. But that's it for now. If you guys have anything you want to ask or you have any comments, of course, leave them down in the comment section below. And I will see you all next week. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.